Alright, so this is going to be your standard teleport from RNA spawn to the top of the hangar, or sorry, the top of the crane and hangar. First I'm going to walk you through what to do, and then I'm going to show you. So, what you want to do is by teleport, immediately teleport once, and then once you get to like about here, you're going to start channeling your teleport. Immediately once you hit the teleport button, you have to hit the jump button. If you hit the jump button too late, you're gonna bonk into this thing every time. But if you hit the teleport button and then the jump button immediately after, you will get to the top of it. Just like that. And so when you're doing it, you can sort of aim for this line, you know, on this tree. So like right there. Just walk up and bonk. I fucked that one up. You walk up, boom, you get to the top. There's also an alternative to this one to sort of switch it up a little bit. Instead of going to the same spot every time, you can sort of aim for this area right here, and if you do it right, you'll land on this guy. And so that way, if you're having rifle battles on top of crane, they're probably going to expect you to be right here. You can be right here instead. Now, if you have wired, you can do this a little differently. You're still going to want to teleport immediately, right when you get out of spawn, and you're going to look for this. So there's a few ways that you can aim this. I'll explain. So there's 5 squares right here. 1 white squares after these black squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the line of the top of the 5th line, this is where you're going to jump. I'll show you in 1 second. That's your launching point. And once you get here, while you're in wired, you're going to teleport right when this part of the pillar touches the left side of your screen. So, like right there, you're going to start your teleport. And so you need to start wired before you get to this line, because it takes like a half a second for you to get that momentum into your jump. So like if you just jump immediately after wiring, you're not going to go anywhere, right? So you wired, then you jump. You see I just went so much farther. So when you put it all together, you wired, jump when you hit this line, and teleport when this lines up. It'll look something like this. That'll get you right on top of here, super fast, and with less bloom than your traditional teleport on there. And a third variation to the crane teleports is this like little lower section. So let me show you what I'm talking about. See that little lip right there? Sometimes in a crane battle, you're going to be fighting the other guy over there. Let me get over there and I'll show you. The other person. But you can get here instead. Let's say they're coming to their balcony a lot. They might expect you to be on top of the crane. But instead you can be here. And this is good for multiple reasons. The way vision in this game works is you always want to be coming out to the left. You never want to be peeking to the right. And the reason for that is because if I'm looking like this and they're edging out and taking a right around the corner, I'm going to see their body before they can see me. And so you will always have the advantage of somebody peeking out that way. The same would be true if, like, let's say, you know, somebody was over here and I was trying to peek out and get them. They would see like my left shoulder, left side of my body before I could even see them. Sometimes it feels like you're getting shot from around the corner, and that's why. And so this is a pretty good spot because you're going to get the advantage if they're peeking out over here. Same for over here. And you're going to be protected if their rifler is on top of crane, because they won't be able to see you from this. Let's say you are coming out of this part of RNA spawn and you want to get on top of crane. I find that this way is, well, I guess they're both about the same level of difficulty. It's not too hard. Wired is going to be your best bet, and it's similar to the other side. So once you pass this corner, you are going to start your teleport. You're going to wired, then jump and teleport. Like this. You're going to get on top super, super fast. Not really much bloom. And this is without wired. A lot of bloom on that. It's so much better to be getting onto the crane with the use of wired for that reason. Okay, that's insane. It's so much. It's probably like 1.5 times faster or something like that, just from like a quick eye test. Plus, you're going to be coming out with so much momentum, might throw off their aim assist. So the lineage teleports to the crane are actually so much easier than RNA because your wall is closer to the crane. So for the first one, you can just take this square, this line of squares all the way to the wall, and then as soon as this cigarette ashtray thing, I don't know, maybe a trash barrel, as soon as that is off your screen, you are going to teleport and immediately hit the jump button. It's going to look like this. Boom. If you want to make it to the left a little bit, you can walk on this line instead as you approach the trash can.
10 seconds remaining.
Just make sure that your cursor is higher than this line, and you'll be good.
Lineage wins.
Alright, so let's say you want to get into hangar at a bit of a unique angle to, switch up how you're getting down there. They might expect you to be just touching hangar floor, but what if you could actually get on top of brown boxes from a consistent teleport? Well, this is how you do that. So this one's a little more complicated. There's a lot of lineups and setups, but once you get a feel for it, you'll be able to replicate it 100% of the time. The first part is, so you're walking around this corner slightly, and so you want to be coming at an angle similar to this, to where like you're almost about to bonk off of the wall, but you don't. And once you have that angle, you're going to be aiming at this like black trim. As long as your cursor is like, halfway through it, that's fine. So you're approaching, aiming at this, and then once the top of your screen hits the top of this plant right here, you are going to start hard sending your right thumbstick down. And so I'm playing on 6.6 sensitivity, if that helps you with the lineup, because it's going to be different. You'll get here faster if you have a higher sensitivity. So on 6.6 sensitivity, you're walking to this corner, you're lining up on this black trim. Once the top of your screen hits this top of the tree, you hard send your stick down, and once you get to this second line, second white square, line right here, you're going to teleport down. So it's going to look like this. Aim at the trim, touches the tree, and you throw a nade back. And then we try one more time. Boom. 100% of the time, if you do that, you will land down there.
10 seconds remaining.
Right on top of brown boxes. So if you wanted to, for whatever reason, get on top of this part of brown box instead, to have like a more unique angle, maybe get somebody coming out of elbow from a spot that they wouldn't expect, it's actually a lot easier. So let me show you what that looks like. As you're running over here, you're going to sort of edge out a little bit because you want to be coming at a similar angle to the top of Brown Box's teleport. But instead of lining up with the trim and the top of the tree and all that, you are just going to be walking, literally looking down, and you are still going to teleport once you hit this middle line. Let me show you what that looks like. Just like that. And if you're coming out of this door and you want to get onto Brown Box's, it's really easy. You're going to aim for this line right here. And once you get here, you're going to be teleporting down. So it's going to look something like this. This one you can actually start your teleport before you get to the spot a little early. Just like that. And if you get it down good enough, you'll have a really nice angle for this ramp right here. And again, if you wanted to get on top of this part of Brown Box from this angle, this is what it looks like. You are once again going to be teleporting once your body touches this line. It's going to look like this. This one, I don't know. It's not as good, but it's a way to get to that spot from a different angle. So let's say you want to get on top of white boxes or L boxes. There's a few ways you can do that. So coming from the RNA spawn, there's a bit of a lineup. You're going to make the top of your screen block out those windows. And then once you pass this point right there, you are going to teleport. It's going to look like this. You'll get there 100% of the time. Coming from this hallway, it's a bit different. There's another lineup for it though. You want to make the top of your screen again block out those windows. And as you approach this pillar, you're going to turn and then teleport. It's going to look like this. From skybridge, it's pretty easy. You're going to be aiming in this corner. And once you get there, you're going to teleport down. Just be careful on the timing of your teleport, because if you come full speed off the stairs, you're going to float a little bit in the air. And so that might throw you off. But once you get here, you just teleport and you'll get right on top of this thing. I just want to show you like the absolute edge of the basement that you can get into. Starting from the RNA spawn. This square right here is the corner of the basement. And so you can use that as like a guiding point. This square, all the way over here, all of that is part of the basement. It actually keeps going from that square. Obviously there's no squares over here, so it's kind of hard to line it up. But what you can use instead when you're out here is this wheel. Everything, all of this to the wheel is basement teleports. As long as you are, like, your character's center on this wheel, or to the right on this side, you will get into the basement if you teleport down. Obviously you can't teleport down onto top of those pillars, but there's usually shit in the way anyways to help you, you know, not mess that up. Like for instance, right here, this guy. If you crouch teleport, you will land right here, which means that if you wanted to get into hangar from here, you can actually just jump. Whoops. You can actually just jump and teleport straight up, and you will appear behind here. What happened in my last one, I was holding forward slightly, so that's why I ended up over here. And so there's a couple ways you can use this to get into the basement in a stealthy way. Like let's say lineage was over here, you want to get into the basement, you don't really want them to know that you got into the basement by seeing like your teleport mark or something, so you can hide it you know, by right here, teleporting down.
30 seconds remaining.
They're not going to know where you are exactly in the basement from that angle. Over here, they could obviously be watching from this angle, but if they're not, you can get into the basement this way. To the left of this line, of this pillar, we'll put you on top of this guy.
Remaining.
You can't teleport down here. It has to be like, actually a little more forward. This one's a little wonky. I would not try and do this one.
Lineage wins.
So you kind of have to be on the front of that line. You can tell by the center of the front wheel. As long as you are in front of that or on the line, you can teleport down. So that one's not the best. This one will take you up to behind this caterpillar thing. Teleporting down from the middle of it will also put you over here. Sometimes it's a little wonky because the game doesn't want you to go into this, so it's consistent this way. Like if you're teleporting down from the butt of this thing. And so again, from this side of the ship, as long as you are on the side closer to the artifact of this wheel, you'll be able to teleport down. This is actually a nice little teleport for the lineage side. If you line up to this wall, jump straight up and teleport, you're gonna get onto this wheel. It's a little bit of a unique angle. You want to essentially line up this line with this door, the edge of this door, like that. And you are going to be aiming for the center of this, like, brick or whatever. Anywhere down that line. And you just run, jump once you pass the door, and you're going to land here 100% of the time. So getting onto ship from skybridge is a little bit tricky if you're trying to do like precise spots. There are lineups, but it's probably impractical in a match, I guess, because there's so many different angles that you could be coming from. But a general rule of thumb is that you want your teleport to be going off when you hit this line. And that will usually get you onto the ship from pretty much anywhere. And there's going to be variations of where you land where you're going to want to, you know, stop holding forward so you don't overshoot it. But yeah, as long as your teleport is going off once you hit that line, you're probably going to land onto the ship.
"30 seconds remaining.
Is super random, but it's pretty fun. So if you are running up to this troll sign and
30 seconds remaining.
You are like on the, you know, 3/4 part of it, slightly farther than halfway. If you stop moving, crouch, teleport down, you're going to land on top of this 100% of the time. A little bit of a unique
10
rifle
seconds
spot.
remaining.
Couple teleport tips for the lineage basement. You want to be on the other side of this line for teleports in lower hall, because there is a wall here. Sort of goes to about here, and then you can start teleporting down again because it juts out a little bit. It's this thing. Anywhere on this staircase can get you down there. It's just harder to get up because there's a big staircase in your way. You're either going to get pushed onto this side of it, or if you're too deep to the left, you're just not going to be able to get up. This is a cool way to get into basement from the lineage spawn lower hall. The easiest way is you can just find this plant, crouch down, jump, or teleport down. But also on this line, all the way up to this wall, will bring you on top of, you know, this machine in a different spot. From down here, if you run at these things and teleport jump, you will land on this guy. For waiting room, there's a way you can kind of tell you are in the right spot. So if you are in lineage spawn, it goes up to 4 blocks
30 seconds
behind
remaining.
and 1 block out. So you can be on this block too and still get in there. And then it stops here. You can get 1 block out.
10 seconds
Can't
remaining.
get down right there. Getting into elbow is pretty easy. It's really big. Basically anything before this will get you in there. Like all of this. Up until here. This line. As far left as you can go. And that goes all the way back to here. And it keeps going all the way over here. So, this tile right here does not work. Step 1 tile over. Here's a really weird lineup. If you line up the right side of this bar with this bar, it's easier to do when you're crouch walking. And you hug the wall in front of you, crouch down, and you will teleport directly on top of this thing. There's a nice lineup from walkway into reception. If you just run at this line, jump, teleport, you'll land on this light. Nice little rifle angle. And if you want to get on top of this thing from walkway, pretty easy too. You see this kind of faint line separating these 2 squares. You're gonna aim for the middle of this section right here. Just walk forward, jump, teleport. You'll get on top.
Lineage wins. Seconds remaining. Seconds.